It's literally 3 a.m. and I'm recording this video. There are two types of people in this world. So grab a piece of paper, pause this video if you need to, but sit down and really think about these answers for a little bit. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. It would help me a lot if you could give a like, and if you're not following me on Instagram or you're not subscribed to me here on YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe so that you do not miss any of my videos. Social media, the greatest and worst invention that has entered my life. I love it so much, but I also hate it just as much. And what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm gonna show you how I use social media to better my life, and how I use social media to create an outcome that I want in my life rather than letting it control me. There are two types of people in this world. One type are those that consume, and only take in content. Now, if the content that you're seeing and you're consuming is benefiting you, if it's motivating you, then that's amazing. Keep consuming. But if you find yourself filled with anxious thoughts after you finish scrolling, or you go about your day and all these unwanted thoughts come, and you have these emotions and you have these feelings that you know are not yours, they're placed there by something else, something outside of you. And a lot of the times what happens is when we are scrolling on Instagram or TikTok, we see content that does not make us feel good. And when we see something, our body thinks that that event is actually happening to us. So let's say someone is crying in a TikTok that you just saw. Well, you viewing that, your body is going to have the same reactions and it's going to produce the same chemicals as if the person that's crying in that video is you. So if you are constantly watching fearful types of content that just is negative and just not good for you, and you know deep down that it's not good for you, you hold on to this energy, and that energy comes out in many different ways. It might come out as an argument with your partner. It might come out as, not being motivated to work on your thing after you spent all this time consuming. When it comes time for you to create, you have no more energy because you gave it to scrolling. You gave your energy to people that you are viewing on social media without even knowing it. My goal is to help you become aware, first of all, of the things that you are doing that are bringing certain reactions, unwanted reactions that you do not resonate with. The other types of people are those that create, who are in their flow, and they create such incredible content that comes from within. Now, it's okay to get inspired. It's okay to use social media to be motivated and look for content inspired by other people. I do that often. But when you're just copying and pasting, it's going to not make you feel good. It's not going to push you towards the goals that you have for yourself. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of content that I see on social media that I screenshot and I save, and I recreate that with my own content. And recreating is okay. That's not, I'm not telling you that you need to create everything from within. It's okay to get inspired by other people, but you need to have an aspect of yourself where that content that you are creating comes from within. Even if it's just 10%, when you are creating, create from within. Even if it's inspired by other people, have an aspect that comes from within. That is how you get into the flow of creating rather than consuming. The other types of people who do not consume are the creators. And when you're not consuming, you have all this extra energy that you can now put towards the actual creating part. And I actually did a video yesterday talking about why we're not able to take action, why taking action is so hard for some of us, why we're stuck in this pattern of feeling overwhelmed and we don't take action, and as a result we get even more overwhelmed. You have to break out of that loop. If you want to watch that video, it's the video I posted yesterday. So make sure you watch that to learn how to get unstuck from this feeling of being paralyzed. So watch that video. And then now, how can you use social media to create the life that you want to create? I'm going to give you guys some of my tips and how I use social media to better my life rather than having it take away from my life. First thing I have for you is unfollow any accounts that do not resonate with you. And if you have family and friends from years and years ago, and every time you go to post, you feel this anxious feeling and you don't want people seeing you, these are, identify why you feel this way. And if there's certain people that trigger something inside of you, simply give them an unfollow. It's 2024, we are no longer required to keep connections with people that are no longer in our lives. We do not need to consume and take in their content. It might be someone that you talked to for a day back in high school, but you still have them on Instagram, and now every time you go to post, you're thinking about what that certain person might think. If you really think about it, how crazy is that? A person that we met years and years ago, or people from high school, people from middle school, people from college who we do not resonate with anymore, why are they still in our presence? Why are they still in your presence? So when you think about it like this, you realize that we give a lot of our control to people online, and you may again not know this consciously. This might be something that you do subconsciously. So if posting content, if creating as a whole feels very overwhelming, you have a lot of things that you need to let go of. This is again where your healing journey comes to play. It's all about letting go of those unwanted feelings that keep us distracted, that keep us stuck in things that we do not want to be stuck in anymore. It's time to put your focus towards the reality that you want to create for yourself. By creating, you are in flow with what the universe wants for you. Next few tips I have for you are actually things that I want you to journal on. So grab a piece of paper, pause this video if you need to, but sit down and really think about these answers for a little bit. So the first question I have for you is, what type of content feels really good to create? If there is one thing that you could talk about for hours, what is that thing? Write that down. Number 2, why do I feel resistance when it comes to posting content? Is it because I'm scared what people might think? Is it because I'm worried about who might see my content? Are there certain people in my follower list that I don't want to share this information with? Write all of those things down. The last question I have for you is, how can I create a ritual or a routine for myself every single day that involves me creating in one way or another? This last one is going to help you build that discipline, because if you really think about it, you consuming and scrolling on TikTok, on Instagram, it might be a routine for you. It might be a ritual. After a long day of work, it feels good to just sit down, lay down, and scroll away. That is a ritual you have built for yourself. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to reprogram you to build this ritual into something that's actually going to benefit you. Now, don't get me wrong, breaks are necessary, especially if you are a busy mom, for example, or if you are a busy, you have a 9 to 5 and you just want to relax. Those things are important, but this is advice for someone who is not happy with their current situation and they are looking to change things. The things that I'm sharing with you in this video is how you begin to change those things. So instead of your ritual being, after work, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to scroll because that's how I feel pleasure and that's how I feel like I can finally take a break, if you really think about it, scrolling is more unproductive for your goals, for your happiness, than doing the thing that you should actually be doing, something that excites you, something that motivates you and keeps that creativity flow juicy and just filled with so much passion. If you think about it, scrolling and consuming constantly only leads to more feelings of unhappiness, anxious thoughts, because you spent all your energy looking at what other people are doing with their life instead of using all this precious energy to build a life that you want. You have given it to someone else. Really think about this incredible life force energy that you have, even if it's after work or you just have an hour a day and it's just you and your thoughts. Because you're so insecure with the work that you know you need to do, you sit down, you start scrolling, and you give your energy to this platform. It can be Instagram, it can be TikTok. You give your energy to this platform instead of giving your juicy energy to your project, to your passion, to the thing that you actually want to do, to the thing that's going to take you to that next level. So, what you choose is entirely up to you. And by building this into a routine, by building this into a ritual every single day, you are going to turn that habit from consuming to creating. Now, the next tip I have for you is starting a theme page. If you have no idea how to get into this creative flow, start a theme page. A theme page essentially is a page, whether on Instagram or TikTok, dedicated to something that really excites you. It could be fitness for you, it could be gardening, it could be reading, it could be learning about history. You might be a math teacher, but you have a passion for wanting to teach people math online instead of in a classroom. What is something that really excites you that you can talk about for hours and hours? I got you guys to journal on this. So refer to your journal. What is that thing that you can spend a lot of, it excites you and you want to spend a lot of time working on this thing? What is that for you? Once you are aware on what that thing is, start creating content around that thing. And this is how you will begin to take control of your life. You are talking about things you are for once creating instead of consuming. You are talking about things that you are passionate about. You are now building a community of people that are interested in the same things as you instead of, consuming other people's content. So, if this is something that you want to begin with, and this is something that you are highly interested in, check out my Theme Page Academy down below. This is everything and more that I teach inside of that program, and teaching you how to take that control back into your own hands and for once create instead of consuming other people's content. Create your own. Because here's the incredible thing that's going to happen. The most incredible thing that's going to happen is you are finally going to, number one, be doing the thing that you love, and number two, you're going to be getting paid for it. So monetizing a theme page is another thing that you will learn inside of Theme Page Academy. Once you have this page, how do we now make money from it so that you can eventually leave your 9 to 5 and you can eventually have some extra money coming in so you're not so stressed. And once you take back control, as silly as it sounds, once you take back control of your social media life, it's going to reap the benefits in other areas of your life as well. These are the incredible things that I've noticed in my personal life, and that's why I love sharing these things with you guys. So again, if you're interested in Theme Page Academy, just click the link below. So just remember that social media is a great tool. I have learned so much about myself. I have built the freedom that I was once craving in my life. I have the freedom to travel. It's literally 3 a.m. and I'm recording this video. Guess what? Because I felt excited and inspired to make this video at this time. So that's when I'm gonna do it. This feels so easy for me and I don't have to push myself to be on camera. It just, all these things that I'm saying come very naturally to me because I'm in that flow. And I want you to find that thing that makes you feel like you're in control and you're in your own flow. So I recommend everyone to get started with a theme page. So again, link below if you want to get started with me. I would love to have you inside of the Theme Page Academy. We begin February 1st. All that information can be found below. Theme Page Academy is currently in pre-enrollment period, so make sure you grab it while it is in the pre-enrollment pricing before the prices go up. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching.